Let me try that. Let me try that. Put this over here. Let me try that. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. And then this fan, I'm gonna move it over here. All right, go. Let's turn that one off. Recycle. And then I'm just gonna go like that. And go like that. And go like that. And go like that. Yeah, I get it was warbling, but you know, come on, bro. Like nitpick every little thing, bro. Seriously. Okay, let me get out of this. What should I put on? Let me put on Weather Nation. Weather Nation. I put on Weather Nation. Weather Nation. Oh shoot. Weather Nation. Weather Nation. Audio. 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 Okay, well, audio. I'll check. I'll check my live stream in a few minutes. Blah. Sorry. Hello, Airbend TV. All right, Weather Nation. No, I shut off the other one because it was too much. I had to shut it off because too much going on. It was too much. Too many gremlins with OBS. It's annoying me with OBS. This is why I tell you I can't use this screen, this computer. I can't use it on this side with OBS. Too many issues. Anyway, I turned off the fan. I don't know if it was the fan that was causing it, but anyway, I'm using this microphone because that microphone, it was probably picking up all this and this. So I'm trying this microphone. I'm trying this microphone. So let me check the Discord. The problem is the Discord. If I open the Discord, sometimes Discord takes over this stuff. I hope that doesn't happen. Let me open it up. No, don't switch. I don't want to switch. Don't switch. Okay, don't switch. Okay, TVDX. Okay, all right, see TVDX. Okay, there you go. All right, there you go. TVDX. And hello, TVDX. There you go. And okay, I send you. Okay, I'm gonna accept your friend request. There you go. Hello, TVDX. Okay, two mutual servers. All right, you're on radio discussion. Okay, good. Welcome, TVDX. Welcome, Airbends TV. Hello. There you go. All right. So we're good on Discord. Okay, so let me close Discord. All right, so we good there. All right, there we go. Yeah. Now I have to play the. Let me open up the. I need a minute. Let me open up the. Let me open up the live stream on another one to see if I'm getting that stupid sound. I don't know if it was the fan. I don't know what was going on with it. Let me mute that. I have to watch ads now. Okay, let's see. Anyway, I turned off the fan. I don't know if the fan was closing it. But anyway, I'm using this microphone. That microphone is probably picking up all this. So I'm trying this microphone. All right, let me close this one. Okay, there we go. All right. Everything sounds good so far. I don't hear no. I turned off that fan. This microphone is not. I've been using this microphone now. I just checked it. I replayed my stream. I don't hear no sound now. No whatever the hell it was. I think it was the fan. But I got the AC running over here. I have it at the lowest setting. I don't want to turn off the AC. If I turn off the AC, it's gonna get hot in here. But I don't hear the sound no more. But anyway, I can't help it. Every time I do a live stream, there's always something going on. And you know, problem is that I have multiple machines. So this one, when I do a live stream on this one, I do OBS, it's like I have to do the whole setup again. Especially this one here. I upgraded my OBS on this one. And I don't know why it wiped out everything, but it did. It wiped out all my settings. Because it was ridiculous. So when it wiped out all my settings, I had to redo everything and forget it. See, that one I got to set up nice right now. But so right now I'm using, you see this one, you see the live stream on this one now, right? You get to see, well, you still get the black bars. I'm using YouTube Studio. Yeah, you still get the black bars on YouTube Studio. So right now, this is not OBS. This is YouTube Studio, the web browser. So you still get the black bars. So it doesn't matter because this is the ultra wide screen. That's why I want to get rid of the screen and put it over here because I don't want this black bar nonsense. It's annoying. I want it to fit everything in the screen. Actually, let me check the replay again. But that's the problem, that this wide screen throws everything off. It really. So let me. Okay, let me mute that. Jesus Christ. All these ads. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, no. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Right now, I'm filling up the whole screen. So, yeah. So, with YouTube Studio on this screen, it fills up the whole screen. But with OBS, I can't do that. I try to do that and it makes the screen smaller. It's annoying. All right, so right now I'm looking at it. Okay, so right now I filled up the whole screen. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so I'm done with that. Okay. Yeah, I know. Todd said audio is good. Thank you. Airbench TV, OBS is open source, and open source is the best. Yeah, I mean, open source is good. It's good because it's free. There's a big community behind it. You know, it's not proprietary. You don't have to pay for it. You know, like I said, it's free. There's a big, and by the way, OBS is a huge learning curve. You know, when people, that's why I you know, if people that know me here by now know that I'm trying to say this without pissing people off. I get it. My stream is not perfect. But when people constantly put, it gets under my skin. To the point where I get it. You know? Because James Farley does that to me sometimes. I remember when I did the 30-day live stream, this guy, Paul, you know, he went, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And I had to put the microphone all the way up almost. And then when I was playing the replay, it was over-modulated like crazy. And it messed up my whole live stream because of one person. So, you know, Live streaming is always a work in progress. Because I don't have $1 million equipment. I'm sorry. These headphones are $20. That camera is $10. OBS is a learning curve like this. Lighting. You see all the lighting. I don't have the proper lighting. I have to deal with all this. And I heard the little warbling sound. It wasn't that bad. It was just the fan. If I wasn't doing a live stream, you know when a fan gets dirty? Let me explain to you something, people. You know when a fan gets dirty, it does noises. Like, it doesn't drive me crazy when I'm sleeping. That fan is dirty. I'm not gonna lie to you, that fan is dirty. I clean that fan, but those fans are hard to clean inside. You got to take it apart to clean it. You know, things like that. Like at some point, I'm gonna say it gets nitpicky. You understand? I don't mind if one person points it out to me. But when it's repeated 3 or 4 times, it gets annoying. I'm sorry, people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. I come on here, and the last thing I want to deal with is everybody nitpicking at my live stream. I'm sorry. Because I check my live stream every so often, and I'll pick up on that. If you only got to tell me one time, I think your fan or something's going in the back. That's it. You know, and not everybody has to chime in. It's warbling. I can't hear it. You understand? I get it. So if you're going to be upset at me, I do not care. Okay? I come on here. I come in here unannounced. I do my live stream. Okay? I'm you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of shit on my plate already in my life. I come in here, do a live stream. I'm, you know, and little shit like gremlin shit happens. I get it. You know, it was a two-way street with the chat, bro. Like I told this guy yesterday, do not mention other channels in here. You understand? That too, it irks me. I had to put a stop to that yesterday. About, I listen to all these other people. I don't care. I don't care. Because I'm at that point now where this could be my last live stream, period. For the whole fucking summer. You understand that? I'm at that point now. No, I know bugs aren't a big deal. It isn't a big deal. We all get gremlins and all that. But some people don't know when to stop. And then they try to flip it on me like, oh, well, it's my fault. Or whatever. You know, I don't know. You know, just chill out, people. You know what I'm saying? I'm only doing this because I want to be on for a while. And right now, you know, I'll talk to a couple of people. I get it, bro. You know? Come on, man. People get too sensitive around here over every little fucking thing. I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of people getting sensitive over shit. Come on, man. I'm just trying to stream here, bro. You know, like yesterday, like I told this guy, stop mentioning other channels in here. I don't care about other channels. That's it. I'm done with that. You know? Come on. Enough is enough. Because I'm going to stream anyway. It don't matter. I'm going to stream anyway. If nobody wants to come in here and watch me, I'll stream anyway. I don't care. I'll do it for viewing hours. I'll stream without comments. It doesn't matter. All right, let me go check my weather shit. Be right back.
This includes the following highways: New Jersey.
Be right back.
Near exit 9. Garden State Parkway between mile markers 111 and 125. Repeating, a flash flood warning remains in effect.
They make everybody happy. That's it. That's the way it is.
Counties in New Jersey, Middlesex, and Monmouth. Here is the forecast for the New York City metropolitan area. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A chance of showers with a slight chance of thunderstorms this evening, then a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall. Lows in the lower 70s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, partly sunny in the morning, then mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Some thunderstorms may produce gusty winds in the afternoon. Humid with highs around 90. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Flash flood warning will expire at 6:45 p.m. this evening for northern Monmouth and eastern Middlesex counties. The heavy rain has ended. Please continue to heed remaining road closures. Repeating, the flash flood warning has been allowed to expire for the following counties in New Jersey, Middlesex, and Monmouth. Here is the forecast for the New York City metropolitan area. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A chance of showers with a slight chance of thunderstorms this evening, then a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall. Lows in the lower 70s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, partly sunny in the morning, then mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Some thunderstorms may produce gusty winds in the afternoon. Humid with highs around 90. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Gusts up to 20 miles per hour in the afternoon. Chance of rain 30%. The coastal waters forecast from Sandy Hook, New Jersey to Fire Island Inlet, New York out 20 nautical miles. For rest of today, south winds around 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet, occasionally to 5 feet. Wave detail, south 3 feet at 4 seconds and southeast 2 feet at 8 seconds. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. And for tonight, south winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots, becoming southwest 5 to 10 knots after midnight. Seas 2 to 4 feet, occasionally to 5 feet. Wave detail, south 3 feet at 5 seconds and east 2 feet at 8 seconds. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Chance of showers, mainly in the evening. Winds and seas may be higher in and near thunderstorms. The marine forecast for New York Harbor, including Raritan Bay. For rest of today, south winds 5 to 10 knots. Waves 1 foot or less.
Now, I don't know if you can hear that with the mic. Mike, look at me. I'm more, all right, anyway, I'm moving on. Moving on. All right, I'm just moving on. I'm not gonna read everything now. I just can't. Right now, I just finished coughing out blood right now. I just coughed blood. I've been coughing out blood lately. I don't know what's going on with me. I think it's the stress is getting to me when it comes. It's just my life in general right now. Just wear my shirt, man. No, I've been coughing out blood for the last few weeks. Every once in a while, I cough out blood. I just coughed out in the sink. I have to go see a doctor, man. I could taste it right now. I could taste the blood right now here. Sorry, I got to spit. Yeah, look, I'm still bleeding. See? I'm sorry. Looks like it's going away now. It's going away now. It's been like this for the last few weeks. Sometimes I get it bad for a couple of few minutes. You know, I wanted to go to a doctor so they could check my esophagus. My wife and I, we've been fighting lately, and I lost my health insurance. I lost my health insurance. I got it through my wife. I got my health insurance through my wife, but I haven't scheduled an appointment to. But I want to get a endoscopy. I don't know what's going on with my esophagus. I had one of those years ago. An endoscopy. I'm hoping it's not something in my esophagus. But this is, lately I've been bleeding. Lately I've been spitting blood. At first I thought it was my teeth because my gums bleed too. Because my teeth are not, you know what I mean. You could tell, my teeth are not. But it's coming from here. The blood is coming from here. It's not. The blood is not coming from here. It's coming from in here. From in here. Right now, it's not that bad. It's kind of. It already went away. I think when I got stressed out. I think when I started yelling and just, I don't know what happened. When I started coughing, well, what happens is I know when I start coughing, then I feel it. I feel it when I'm coughing. I feel the blood coming up through my throat. And that's what I told my wife and son. If when I die, I told them I could be dying. I probably have throat cancer right now, and I don't know it. Maybe I have throat cancer or something, esophageal cancer or something. But I'm at the point of I'm at the point of my life where I don't care anymore. I'm really at that point right now that I already made my peace with God. I made my peace with God. I've been having all these crazy dreams lately that, I've been thinking about it lately. I've been thinking about my own mortality lately. My wife thinks I'm crazy. I told her, no, I think I'm going to die soon. I probably die before my 60th birthday. She thinks I'm crazy. I don't know, like I feel like there's something in my shoulder that's something's happening in my shoulder telling me you're gonna die soon. I can't explain it. I feel like there's an angel waiting to take me. That's what I feel. I feel like there's an angel watching right now. He's behind me. He's waiting for me to take me. I've been stressed out. I've been so stressed out these last few weeks. I think it happened right before. I think there was during the time. Uh, I think I started feeling this way after Memorial Day. I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird feeling I have been having. And then that's when the thing started with the coughing. No, I am gonna take a break. I think this might be my live stream. I think it's gonna be my live stream for a while. I've been saying it for the last couple of days. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I didn't want to show you that. I didn't want to show that. I didn't want people to see me coughing blood. I was trying to hide it. I don't know what it is. Am I afraid? No, I'm not afraid anymore. I was afraid. I was afraid. I'm not afraid anymore. I had a colonoscopy 8 years ago. By the way, before that, because first I had blood there. Not to be graphic, but first I had blood there. I had blood there first. And then they did a colonoscopy and they found a few polyps. They found like 5 of them. And 2 of them were of the 20 millimeter variety. They were bigger. And then the doctor told me, by the way, this is when I was 46 years old. I was 46 at the time. The first time they found a whole bunch of polyps. Was it 5? No, it wasn't 5. I forgot the number. It was a few of them. It was a few. They found a few of them at 46. They found a few at 46. I think it was, if I remember the number, it might have been 6 or 7 or 8. I don't know. I forgot. It was long when I was 46 because I was bleeding there. I was bleeding. I will bleed every time I go. So they did that colonoscopy. And she told me to come back next year because at your age, have you when I got checked out, you would have probably had colon cancer. So I said, okay. So then I moved over here. That was in the Bronx. Then I moved over here. A year later, I was here. Then it was about a year and a half. I went back to the doctor and they did another colonoscopy. This time they found 3. Then they found 3. They found 3. But they were okay. They were not big. They were just, they were, he said, no, you're okay. He said, you're going to be fine. I said, okay. But when they did the endoscopy, because the colonoscopy is, where, of course, they put you to sleep, people, When they did the endoscopy, they found polyps in my esophagus. They found polyps in my esophagus. And they told me my stomach was a mess. Because at first I thought I had IBS. Because every time I would eat, I had to go. Every time I would eat, I had to go right away. Going right away. But it turned out that I had some kind of parasite. I had a parasite in my stomach. It's called H. pylori. It was a parasite. So I had to take some antibiotics and it killed it. And then I was fine for a few years. And then COVID happened. And then I was drinking a lot during COVID. I was drinking a lot during COVID. I was drinking almost every other day during COVID. And I ate like crazy. That's when I put on all this weight. All this weight was during COVID. I put on all this weight. I have not been to the doctor ever since. Only February. Back in February, I did go to the doctor, but of course, my insurance wound up not covering that. I still owe that money. But when I went to the doctor in February, when they did the blood test, I became officially a diabetic. So officially, I'm a diabetic now. I'm diabetic. I'm not supposed to be eating like this. Eating like this, drinking like this. I'm a diabetic. And remember, I was gonna get on the weight loss drug, but my insurance, something, there was a fucking mix up with my wife's insurance. So finally, now we got it fixed up. So I need to go to the doctor to do all these. I need to go to the doctor to get I need a colonoscopy. I have to do a colonoscopy because it's been already 10 years since I did my last one. That's too long already. So I don't know if I have any. I don't know what's going on with my colon in terms of polyps. So who knows what else I got in there. Yeah, I know, but it's a fucking habit. It's a habit. The problem is, it's like crack. I'm addicted to that. It's an addiction. It's an addiction. That's the problem with soda and all this shit. It's an addiction. I'm like a drug addict. I'm addicted to soda. So I have to get a colonoscopy. I'm going to have to get an endoscopy now because I'm bleeding through my throat now. So I don't know what's going on here. So now I'm going to have to get an endoscopy. And I don't want to talk about this with her because she's just been ragging me. You understand? I can't talk to anybody anymore. So I'm dealing with this shit by myself. And it's stressing me out. I'm stressed out about all this shit. So I try to come on here and, and try to be funny and try to be, I don't want to, I'm trying to get away from that. And the last couple of days, I've been having meltdowns. Over all this shit. I've been depressed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been depressed. All these days. I've been very depressed. Like, I don't care what happens anymore. I don't care if I die tomorrow. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care if I die tomorrow. I don't care if I don't wake up at that bed tomorrow. I don't care if I wake up tomorrow morning. I'm at that point in my life now. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Because I already lived my life. I lived my life. They might not respect me upstairs. But I'm at the point of my life where I got nothing else to prove anymore. Yeah, I got this stupid little artificial goal of getting 1 million views. And then what? Big deal. Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. And then I may just quit. I may just quit altogether. Quit. I'm not gonna delete the channel or anything. I just won't probably upload another video. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Right now, I thought I was gonna enjoy this summer. So far, this summer's been. I thought I was gonna do the whole World Cup. I thought I was gonna be enjoying. I thought I was gonna be enjoying the World Cup thing, live streaming every day. And right away, YouTube hit me with all the FIFA nonsense, and that really soured my summer. That soured my summer. Thank you, Todd, for the sunshine. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, everybody, for your prayers. Thank you. Thank you, Keegan. Thank you, Surprise Dragonflies. Thank you. Welcome. You know, people don't see that I'm hurting inside. I'm fucking depressed right now. I haven't felt this way in years. I feel depressed. I feel hopeless. I feel like I need to go get help. That's why I talk to you guys. I have no one else to talk to. I have no one else to talk to. That's why I come on here and talk to you guys. I got nowhere else to go. It's sad. I got family out there. I got family, flesh and blood. I can't talk to them. I have a spouse. I can't talk to her. Can't talk to them. It's sad. It really is sad. So, I come on here. You know why I come on here? You know why I come on here? To forget about all this stuff. That's why I come on here. That's why I come on here. Because honestly, if I didn't live stream, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. I'd be going crazy right now. If I didn't live stream and didn't have if I didn't have a live stream and I didn't have by the way, I apologize to every single one of you. I'm sorry if I snapped at anybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm going through a lot of shit right now. And you're the last, you guys are the last hope that I have. Because I can't talk to anybody else. It's sad. I have no one else to talk to. I have no one else to talk to. I have no one else to talk to. No, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to make priority about that right away. Because I have to. Because it's messing with my head. It's messing with my head right now. I honestly, right now, I feel like I don't want to live anymore. I feel like I don't want to live anymore. I'm not. I don't want to hurt myself. Don't get it wrong, people. Don't get it wrong, people. I'm not trying to hurt myself. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about that. But I don't care. I don't care if I live tomorrow. I don't care no more. Which is just as bad, if not. Like, I don't care. I really don't care. Like, I'm ready to drop this, you know. Let me just shut up. Let me just shut up about that. That's why I try to keep myself going. That's why, listen, that's why I did the whole gardening thing. You know the whole gardening thing? I did it for I did, yeah, I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it to please her, but I did it for me too. I did it like for like therapy. I did it to feel good, to get my mind off of being depressed. Because I'm depressed. I could say that. I haven't felt this way in a long time. But right now, I am depressed. I could say that. Right now, I am going through some depression. Okay? It is depression. Because I know how it feels like. I haven't felt this way since 20 when I had clinical depression. That was around 2014. Right before my son was born. 2013, 2014, that's when I was clinically depressed. So right now, 13 years ago, around 13 years ago. So I've been feeling depressed it's been for the past couple of months or so, but it's been hitting me hard since June. Really, since after Memorial Day, I don't know, it's been like a ton of bricks. And really these last few days, it's really been hitting me. Not to the point where I want to unalive myself. I have to say that. I can't say the other word because I don't think about that one. I don't think about. By the way, back then I did try that. I told you the story about that. I told you that I try to unalive myself. So we're not allowed to say the other word here on YouTube, which is stupid, but it is what it is. But I don't think about that. I don't think about that. You know why I don't think about that? Because I don't want my son to come down here and find me like that. I don't want my son to come down here and find me, I don't want that. I wouldn't want to scar him for life like that. But do I care if I wake up tomorrow morning? No, I don't care anymore. I don't care if I wake up tomorrow. I'm going to treat every day like it's my last day. Because I don't care. I don't care if, you know, I don't care if I wake up tomorrow now. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Another thing I've been getting lately is throbbing on my head. My brother died. My brother died a few months ago. He died of a stroke. Sometimes I get this throbbing thing right here. You see the stain? You see that stain? You see that stain right there? I have a stain there. That's blood pooling right there. That's blood pooling. That's blood pooling on my head. So I'm probably a ticking time bomb for a stroke. Because I get a little throbbing sometime, and it feel like it's about. I feel like my vein is gonna bust in my head. Okay. So you see that? You see that stain? That's blood that's pooling. Okay. Because I'm getting that stain there. And I go like this sometime in a while, and it's actually scabby. And it's blood pooling. It is blood underneath that skin. That's pooling. So I'm probably gonna get a stroke sooner than later. Even though my last test EKG says that my blood pressure is normal. I don't have high blood pressure, but I don't know because of my family history recently. My family history recently is that we all had a stroke. And of course, when you have diabetes, your risk of stroke goes up quite a bit. My triglyceride level is through the roof. So I'm kind of like I'm kind of like brewing the perfect storm to get a stroke. So I'm probably gonna get a stroke more than a heart attack first. Because my feet are getting numb, my ankles are getting swollen, even when I don't drink for a few days. So I probably do have a clot, or I'm gonna get a clot somewhere, or I probably do have a clot. It's probably either gonna be either I'm probably gonna get a either I'm probably gonna have a pulmonary embolism, or I'm gonna have a stroke. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think that's the way I'm gonna go out. Either I'm gonna have a stroke or a pulmonary embolism. And by the way, one or the other will kill you like that. Especially a pulmonary embolism. It'll be quick. So yeah, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I don't care because you know what? I already lived my life. I already lived my life. All right. So there you go. Hello, Chicopee Radio. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Airbends. Talking about depression. No way. No, I know what it is. I've been depressed. I've been depressed a couple of times in my life. First time I experienced depression was after 9/11. I already talked about this in this channel. First time I experienced depression was 9/11 because I was dealing with survivor's guilt. I was supposed to be in that building when 9/11 happened. Remember, my wife got laid off and I didn't get hired by a company. I could have been in that building in 9/11 as a webmaster for IGEA. So for IGEA, I could have been a webmaster for IGEA. I would have been on the 86th floor on the North Tower. So that means I would have been in ground zero where the plane hit. The plane hit right there. Right above, right above me, the plane hit. I think that would have been so I probably would have been dead from the impact. But God had a plan for me for that time. So I wasn't on that building in 9/11. But I was depressed. For a long time, I was depressed. For a couple of years. Because I couldn't find a job. I was broke. Everybody that I knew were telling me, "Oh, Mr. College graduate, why you not work? Why you not making money now? What's going on?" People. Let me say some people can be fucking cruel. People that I knew growing up, they were working in bullshit jobs. They would tell me, "Oh, wow, what's going on, Mr. College graduate, Mr. Computer Science degree? Why you can't get a job?" I was fucking depressed, bro. I should have been making $100,000 a year. I couldn't even get a fucking bullshit computer job. You know how that shit makes you feel? You fucking bust your ass, study, you fucking smarter than everybody else around you, and you couldn't even fucking get a job. I don't know because you know what happened when you go to an interview. It's like a fashion show. Literally some interviews are like a fashion show. Yeah, if they don't like the way you look, you don't get the job. That's it. They look at you up and down and they say, "Oh, we don't want this guy." You know, or you don't fit a certain demographic. You know, so I was dealing with that shit. I was dealing with my own family telling me the same shit. You know, like everybody fucking, they put you on the microscope. Like, okay, I thought you was Mr. Moneybags, Mr. Smart Money Guy, Mr. Smart Money Guy, Mr. So how come you broke right now? And of course, I made some bad decisions in terms of relationship. Well, Keegan, that's way before social media. We're talking about 2001. 2001. So social media wasn't even around like the way it is now. It was not the way it is now. But yeah, it was a very depressing time. And my wife, all this time, she was by my side. She didn't leave me. Yeah, this is a different time. And then 2012, my mother passed away. And of course, you know what happened when my mother passed away? The whole thing with the house. Then I was depressed again. I was depressed because of the whole house business. My mother passed away. My oldest brother he was in real bad shape. And he died a couple of years later after that. A couple of years later after my mom passed away, my oldest brother passed away. He was the one that told me. He was the owner of the house, but he was in bad shape too. And he had just lost his eyesight. So he was telling me, "Danny, I would have signed over the house to your name, but," and I was going through my own shit. Because remember, since I couldn't work, I fell behind on child support. And I owed a lot of money. I still owe money. I owed a lot. I'm talking about a lot of fucking money. They were going to put me in jail. I was facing jail time. I was facing jail time because I owe money. I'm not bullshitting you. 2 times I had to fight the case in 4 years. It was 4 years, two separate cases. Actually, no, take that back. One, two separate cases. Then 2 years later, they tried to retry me again. So I was going to court for almost 4 years, fighting to stay out of jail. Fighting to stay out of jail. But they wanted to put me away for 6 months to a year. I was facing jail. I was fucking around, bro. I was stressed out. I was ready. I was ready. I was ready to go to jail. I told my wife, I said, if I go to jail, I'm not coming out. Because you know me, if I go to jail, anybody fuck with me, I'm going to stick a fork in their eye. I'm not going to be nobody's bitch in jail. You know my style. They're going to give me extra time. I ain't getting out for good behavior. If I go to jail, shit, I'm gonna go crazy in there. I ain't gonna stay like that. Shit, I go in there, niggas better watch their back. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I would. That's the way I roll. I wouldn't went in there like, motherfucker, let me get your muffin. You want my muffin, motherfucker? Right in your fucking eye. That's what I would have done to a nigga in there. You hear what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna go out the other way. Oh, you can have my muffin. Here you go. No. I would have been like, nigga, you need to back off. Well, this fork is gonna go right in your fucking eyeball. That's it. You're not gonna have a choice. Because the motherfucking devil's gonna come out of me. You know what I'm saying? That's the way the raw fucking animal would have come out of me. And I was facing that shit. I was facing fucking jail time. I was like, I was preparing myself. Mentally, I was preparing myself. When I go in there, I was gonna be one fighting motherfucker in there. Especially if I would have went to Rikers. If you don't know what Rikers is, go look it up. I was gonna go to Rikers. They would have put me Rikers. Oh boy, shit would have been on. Because I'm not gonna be nobody's bitch. You better believe that shit. I'm not gonna be nobody's bitch in there. So I'd have been like the Tasmanian devil himself. Fucking devil incarnate. So yeah, I was going through some shit, bro. I was going through some fucking badass shit. But that's then, this is now. And that's then, this is now. But you know what? I always survive. I'm a survivor, bro. I'm a survivor. I leave it in God's hand. God has a plan for me. And I'm thankful. Listen to me. Don't feel sorry for me. Don't feel sorry for me. Do not feel sorry for me. I lived a good life. Overall, I lived as long as I lived. People like me are not supposed to live this long. People like me are the last of the Puerto Ricans or the Mohicans. The Mohicans. People like me, I should have been gone a long time ago. But I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. So yeah, don't feel sorry for me. If I'm gone tomorrow, I lived a good life already. I lived a blessed life. I got 3 beautiful children. I got 2 daughters that are adults. They're productive members of society. Their mom did a great job with them, raising them to be responsible adults, beautiful women, very smart women. God blessed me with 2 beautiful daughters. And I have a beautiful son. And he's a smart boy. I love that boy. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed. You understand? If when I'm gone tomorrow, I live the good life, bro. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to walk. I'm not afraid to walk to the other side. Because my mother's going to be on the other side. My mother, my father, my two brothers are going to be on the other side waiting. I'll be all right. I'm going to be all right, bro. Don't feel sorry for me. Don't feel sorry for me. Do not feel sorry for me. Because I'll be okay. You know? All I ask, that's what I've been doing lately. I've been asking God, just get me to my 60th birthday. Let me have that round number. Let me have that round number. And then, you know what? Because, I tell people, I told everybody upstairs, my brother, my wife, this body is not going to make it to 70. Because I'm falling apart already. I've been falling apart for the last few years. It's okay. It's a part of life. It's a cycle of life, people. We all don't live to be 100. You got people that live to be 30 and whatever. You got people live 40. I got a chance to live till I'm 60. Hey, listen, you would have told me this 35 years ago, I would have made it till 60. The way I was living back then, I would have told you crazy. So you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm in peace with God. I don't want to live. I don't want to live with a point where I can't even walk. I don't want to live that long. Who wants to live long where you can't walk? Where you can't walk. You can't wipe your own ass. I hate to sound funny, but yeah, I don't want to live that. I don't want to live old. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to live till. I don't want to live till I can't wipe my own. Nah, I don't want that quality of life. I want my quality of life to be I could walk here, I could talk to you here, I could still see. I don't want to live. I don't want to live till. I don't want to live like that. Like I can't walk. I don't want to live like that. That's why, listen, you know, be all right. Yeah. Jacoby Radio, because of my emotion, I would be to cry. I almost did it once. Let me see, Jacoby Radio, hello. Only a couple of years ago, I first started listening to depressing music. I'm my way back with them. Going to a dark room. You're young, bro. You got your whole life ahead of you. It's okay. You got your whole life ahead of you. You know? Check your DM. I'll check it later. I heard of Rikers. Yeah, Rikers been around forever. My older brother went to Rikers years ago. When I went to visit him, it was a very depressing place. My brother Alex, the one that's missing, he was there for a year. My mother would take me when I was a kid to go visit him. It was one of the most depressing places to ever go to. If you ever visit someone in prison or well, Rikers not technically Rikers is not a prison. It's a county jail. It's a jail, but it feels like a prison because you got to go through certain levels of security. They check your bag. They do all this stuff. By the time I went to see my brother, we went through so many levels. It's like what you see in the movies. It's very dark, dank, depressing. It really fits all the narratives when you go to Rikers. So yeah, I was sad when I went to see my brother because I used to look up to him. When I was a young boy, I used to look up to my brother Alex. I used to look up to him. And my mother, of course, she was crying when we had to say goodbye to him. She was crying, and I didn't cry. I kept it inside, but I was very sad. And then on the bus ride home, my mother is crying, and I'm just trying to console her. I was just trying to console my mother. I was like 12 years old. I was 12 years old. I'm trying to console my mother. And my mother's just bawling and crying. And fucking hardest bus ride I had to go through in my life. Consoling my mother while she's crying. She just left her son in jail, But I think after that they took him upstate because he pleaded guilty to I forgot what, I think it was armed robbery, and so then from there he went upstate. He went all the way to I forgot what prison it was upstate. He went all the way up there. I think it was like near the Canadian border, like Plattsburgh. He went all the way up there. So we didn't see him for another couple of years after that. He wound up doing like 3 or 4 years. But it was hard. It was hard. My mother was. And he would write, he would write letters and have the pictures of, he would take pictures with his, how they do the pose and all that, And but for the time he was in there, he was clean. He didn't. Well, from what I know, he really got back into shape. He was fit. But then when he got out, she went back to the same shit. Actually, when he got out, he got worse because he started doing crack. And then a few years after that, he disappeared. Well, not a few. It was more like a decade. A decade later, he disappeared. And we never saw him again. So right now, he's been missing for 26 years. A little over 26 years now, he's been missing. So, I think about that too. My brother missing for 26 years. My mother passed away. She never knew what happened to him. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring the chat down. I'm sorry. I appreciate everybody here. I appreciate everybody. And we all here together. Chicopee Radio, I love you like you're my son. You're like a son to me. You're young. You have your whole life ahead of you. You have your whole life ahead of you, bro. Do not let anybody derail you from what you want to do in your life. Go after your dreams. Go after your goals. Don't let no one, those people that are your age now, a lot of them are going to say, you can't do this. You can't do this. Why are you doing this? This is boring. You do what you love to do. Do what you love to do. Don't try to fit in another crowd. Don't do that. I've seen too many people do that, and they're not here anymore. You know, like growing up, you got people out there that are making money because they're selling, and they will come up to me, Daddy, look, man, I got $10,000 in my pants. I got money. I'm driving a BMW. But they're not here no more. They're not here no more. You know why? Because they either locked up still or they're dead. They're dead. Or they're just getting out now. Or they just got out of prison. Because I know a few that just got out right now. I was like, nah, bro, I don't care about all that, bro. I'm gonna make some of that later on in life. I was broke as a teenager. I was broke as a teenager. I was broke. I was broke as a teenager. Even when I had those couple of jobs here and there, I was still broke. I was broke. I was broke. By the way, did I still have my share of girlfriends when I was broke? Yeah, because I got game. I got game. You know what I mean? I had game. I still got game. So some girls, I dated some girls. I still dated. But there's other girls out there that wanted the money. They went after they would hang out with those guys. They would hang out with those guys. The drug dealers, the dumb guys. And I knew them. They knew me. We used to play sports together. Or they used to come to my house and play video games. Cause I knew them. We grew up together. So some of them we used to play video games together and all that. Or we used to be outside talking about the Yankees and the Mets, the Knicks and the Rangers. You know what I mean? Like I knew them because we all live in the same neighborhood. But I didn't live their life. I did not live their life. I did not live their life. I didn't want to live that life. I did my thing. I did my own thing. I was playing with computers. I was into my art because that's one thing I was into. I was into art. I was into drawing. I was into graffiti. That was my art. I was into graffiti. I used to write. I had a black book. I used to write black book. Of course, sometimes I used to write on the, I did write on the walls and all that. So, but I was a graffiti guy. I was a graffiti guy. People used to be like, yo, man, yo, Danny, bro, you could write, bro. Yo, write my name, bro. Write my name, Danny. Write my name. But that was my thing. I was an artist. I wasn't a dancer. I was an artist. I wasn't a rapper. I was an artist. So now everybody could be a rapper. Now everybody could be a rapper. Now everybody, I didn't want to be that. A dancer. I wasn't a dancer. I wasn't into dancing. I was into, but I could dress. When I want to go out, I used to dress. I used to look. I look good. I used to look good. Ladies used to pay attention. Girls used to pay attention. And say, "Yo, who's your friend?" They would tell them. They would tell them. They would tell them. They would tell them. The ones with the BMWs and all that. Yo, who's that guy? Who's that guy that he's always around when you got? Who's that guy? That guy look cute. Who's that guy? You know what I mean? And I'd be like, yo, that's my friend Danny. Oh, yeah. My friend Danny. And but I knew better. I knew better because I know what those women were all about. Some of those girls, most of those girls were all about the money. I already knew that. That's why I used to stay clear from them. Let me tell you something. The temptation was there. I'm not going to lie to you. It was there. It was there. It was there. It was there. Someone, it was there. Like, yo, you want to go do some this and hook up with all these girls and have crazy, you know what I mean? And I would be like, nah. I ain't down with that. I ain't down with that. So I would be like, nah, you know, like I could have really listen. I could have really partied hard, but I wasn't interested because I knew I already. You know why I already knew? Because I saw my. You know why I already knew? Because I saw my brother already hooked on it. That's why I didn't do any of that. I ain't fuck around with it. You know why? Because I seen my brothers. A couple of my brothers already hooked up. You know, with that. You know. So that's why, you know, Joe, I could have. I could have been like a crazy ass, you know, God knows how many. God knows how many. But I said, nah. Plus, you know what else? You know what else scared me back then? Catching HIV. HIV. I didn't. I was afraid of HIV. I didn't want to mess around and get HIV. That was the big one. 'Cause I know a couple of people that um died from AIDS. I know, but I know a bunch. I know a few people that died of AIDS, HIV, then AIDS. They died of AIDS because they were crazy. They were crazy. They were crazy. They were like, whew, they didn't care. They didn't care. They were crazy. And then, you know, by the time they turned in their 20s, they were gone. They were gone. Like early 20, they were gone. Died of AIDS. Died of AIDS and shit like that. That's what scared me. That really scared me. When I first time I got tested for that, I went to get tested. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep for like 2 days because I was afraid. I thought I might have had it. Yeah. Airband said, "I'm going to sleep now. If you need to talk, I'm on." I appreciate it. Thank you, and welcome to the Discord server. Yeah. You know, relationship is you know, just my advice to you or anybody else in a relationship: just be you. Just be you. If your partner accepts you for who you are, if your partner accepts you for who you are, then so be it. Don't try to be something you're not to try to get a partner because that happens too many times. People try to be somebody they're not to get that person. So be true to that. Be true to yourself. I'm watching the Weather Nation. I like to leave on Weather Nation in the background. I like Weather Nation. You know, of course, the Weather Channel is the Weather Channel is on cable, but Weather Nation you can get it for free. This remind me of the Weather Channel the way it used to be. Weather Nation. I like Weather Nation. Yeah, Chicopee Radio. You're a smart kid. You got a lot going for yourself. You're very smart. You're a very smart young man. You have your whole life ahead of you. You know, enjoy the journey. You're a teenager, you're a young man, enjoy the journey. That's the thing I'm telling my son. He's 11. I'm telling him, enjoy your but before you know it, you're gonna be an adult, and then your life is gonna change as an adult. You're gonna have more responsibility and things like that. That is part of being an adult. But if you this is what happened. I'm gonna give you this is a little tip for all you for adults. Excuse me, for all you young people that are not adults yet. If you enjoy your childhood, at least try to enjoy as much as you can. Enjoy your young years and get the most out of it in terms of like do the things you want to do. I'm not saying bad thing. I'm talking about good things, hobby things, that type of thing. When you become an adult, you don't feel, because there's too many adults out there, especially in your 20s, that don't want to grow up. That's what happens. You know that, right? They go through that whole thing. When you're in your 20s, you don't want to grow up. You want to stay there. You want to stay right there. And that's the sweet spot. The best years of your life for me, you know what the best years of my life were? The best years of my life was the 20s. I was so full of everything, full of hope. I had so many dreams. I was living a good life in terms of like, you know what I mean? And when you hit 30, 30 is gonna smack you in the face. That's the first one. You're gonna get the first smack when you're 30. Because once you hit that word 30, not all those people in the 20s and 18, 19, now you're too old to date. Now you're that guy. Okay, you want to date someone that's 19? Nope. Nope. He's 30? Oh, he's too old. Now you got that label on you. Bam! And now you got to live with that. And by the way, that I'm talking about men. For women, it's harder. Because for women, they get that other stigma. If they turn 30 and they if a woman turns 30 and she hasn't have a child yet, then families asking her, yo, what the hell's wrong with you? What are you waiting for? You know what I mean? Your biological clock is ticking. You're 30, you still haven't have a kid, or you're not married. So now they look at you like, okay, something wrong with this girl, something wrong with this woman. Now you let off those bells and whistles. Oh, excuse me, alarm. What is it? Yeah, a lot of maintenance. Yeah, that too. So I gotta tell you, Chicopee, enjoy you're 17. You gotta enjoy these years. Enjoy it. What I mean is go after what you want to do. Go to college, do what you want to do. I'm not telling you don't be reckless. What I'm saying is enjoy the whole process. Because and especially when you turn 20, 21, those are the years that you really wanna, you want to travel around the world, do it when you're in your 20s. Things like that. Because when you turn 30, you better be already, 30 is when you got to start. Okay, you better be established by then in terms of your work history. You got to have it. By 30, you should be already like, okay, I got some kind of career. I'm already into my career and things like that. Or maybe even married or starting, or you have family or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But in your 20s, if I could go back, I would have done more in my 20s. I should have done more in my 20s. But it is what it is, I was in the Air Force. I could have done a few things, a couple of relationship I could have avoided. I should have. But overall, yeah. But yeah, enjoy the process. That's why I just said it earlier. I don't have a regret. I don't have a regret if tomorrow I'm not here. Because that's already in the back. To me, that's already in the back mirror, and you say review mirror for me. I'm not trying to relive all that now. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not doing that. And like I said, the byproduct of it is, like I said, I got two beautiful daughters, and of course, this my son is more recent. My son is recent. Yeah, exactly. There you go. When you're in your 20s, you're at the first quarter of the game. Yeah, first quarter. You're in the first quarter. Then you got your second quarter, which is 30. So, in your 30s, that's like your second quarter. And when you hit 40, that's halftime. And by then, you need to, you know, but of course, in my case, a few years after 40, I have my son. So I everybody's telling me, what the hell's wrong with you? Why would you want another kid when you're in your 40s? But my wife is 13 years younger than me. So of course she wanted to have a kid, and who am I to say no? But yeah, yeah, I enjoy college. Yeah, I know, but Taz, so in your 20s, I know you're mature and wiser. I mean, you were mature because you didn't do drugs and all that. Give yourself credit. You was mature. I know people in their 20s, they went crazy. I'll give you an example. Tasso. I grew up with a few kids. I grew up with a few kids around my neighborhood that their parents were strict with them, right? They should not come outside. But listen to me. They should not come outside and play with us or nothing. They were strict with the kids. But the minute the kid turned 21 or 18 and they weren't living with the parents no more, they went crazy. They went full blown crazy. Like, they were from strict kid to drug addict. Like that. They were from like church going kid to full blown going to prison for selling drugs. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. So you should have no regrets about that. You was mature. You avoided. Listen, in your 20s, a lot of people fell for drugs. I know a lot of people that did drugs in their 20s. I know a lot of people in their 20s did drugs. So if you survived your 20s without a major drug addiction, you already passed a major test. In today's society, that's a big one. So don't sell yourself short, bro. Do not sell yourself short on that category. Yeah, there's other regrets. Yeah, we all have, but that's a big one. 'Cause I'm telling you, I see. I went through that. I went through that. And by the way, I did get high in my 20s. I smoked weed. And I took some mescaline. So I did drugs. And of course, I drank like crazy. But I didn't do, I didn't smoke crack. I didn't do cocaine. No. So I dodged that bullet. I dodged that bullet. Let me tell you something. I dodged that bullet, and it wasn't by much. I dodged that bullet. All right. So, you know, and out of my circle of people that I know, there was a handful of people that didn't do any drugs. Everybody else, they were doing something. They were doing some. I'm talking, and I'm talking about some hard drugs like cocaine. They were doing cocaine, or they were sniffing. I mean, or they were doing cocaine, or they were doing they were shooting up. They were shooting up. No, I'm OCD also. I'm OCD also. It is a pain. I am OCD. I am obsessive. I know I'm obsessive because everybody tells me that. I go off on them obsessed about cleanliness, like a lot of things. I go off on them. I know I'm OCD too. I'm OCD. I'm inside. I am a. That's part of being introverted too. That's my nature too. I even playing sports. I'm very competitive. I'm very competitive. Um, for as long as I can remember, I like to stay up and read. And when I when I get it, by the way, and not only hobbies, everything. All right, hold up. Sorry, I'll be right back. Oh, my throat's dry. Be right back. Oh my God, here we go again. Oh, here we go again. Hold up. I'll rub my fucking eye here for a minute. Yeah, just again. Oh my God. Sorry about that. Oh my God. Sorry about that. Yeah, so OCD. I know I'm OCD. I know I'm OCD. Yeah. Keegan DX says I smoke weed and I use edibles after I got my license in Arkansas. Allowing me to use it legally. It help with, yeah. I mean, there's medicinal stuff to it. It does help. You know, um, you know. Unfortunately, in my case, it's alcohol. And that's why that. See, this is why. Oh my God, I forgot. I got my. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. That's good. Yeah. So, um, yeah. No. I'm. Don't do it, please. I'm just saying that this is why I. That's like my coping mechanism right now. Is No, please don't do it. I'm just saying, in my case, when I drink my light beer, or whatever, I actually drink that to calm myself down. Because I'm very if I didn't drink, I would be very hyper and very you know, because I tried cold turkey. I tried cold turkey to, like, not drink for like 2 weeks, and I did good for 2 weeks. But let me tell you that, like, 3 days, the first 3 days for me was hell, because especially by the second day, going to the third day, I was jittery. I was jittery, and also I remember calling because I was gonna check myself in. I was gonna go to a place and check myself in for like a month, and they asked me a whole bunch of questions. And one of the questions they asked me is, "When was the last time you had a drink?" Because I was telling them my history, and then they were like, "Well, I haven't had a drink for 4 days," and they were like, "What? And you're still alive?" He said that to me, and I was like, "What you mean?" I said, "No, a lot of people, when they quit cold turkey, sometimes they get seizures. They get seizures, and I never got a seizure. I never got a seizure. When you drink for years, like almost my whole life, you can get seizures. Like, that's one of the side effect of withdrawal. You can get seizures, epileptic seizure, epilepsy. Excuse me. But I didn't. I didn't get seizures. So that's why now, um, if I try to do it now, yeah, don't, please don't. You don't want to go through this. You do not want to go through this. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you one thing about this. I want everybody to know this. All you young people out there, don't drink alcohol. Don't drink alcohol. Don't drink alcohol. Because I drank alcohol when I was young and I kept drinking alcohol, it robbed me of my potential. Because I am an alcoholic, it robbed me of my potential. Have I never drank alcohol? My life would have been a lot better. I would have been a lot more happier in life. I would have been a more productive person in life. Uh, I definitely would have been a lot healthier in life. I definitely would have been a lot fitter in life. And by the way, with the potential, I would have been a lot more accomplished in life, because I would have done all the things that I wanted to do, or most of the things I wanted to do in life. And by the way, I would have been a lot richer. That's a big one. I could have been a lot richer in life because I made decisions when I was drunk that I regret to this day. Okay? That to this day, it cost me a lot of money. Not only money, but it also, you know, uh, it ruined relationship. It ruined relationship. So, to all you young people out there, enjoy life. You don't need to drink. is you're not missing much on that, but it's going to cost you a lot of money. It's going to cost you a lot of bad decisions, and it's going to ruin your potential. And your life is not going to be better. It's going to make your life worse. So there you go. If I could go back in time and I could avoid alcohol, I would have avoided it. I would have avoided it because, like I said, I believe that. I believe if it wasn't for alcohol, I would have been a lot more successful in life. I would have been a lot healthier and fitter and, peace with myself. Um, I would have been a lot richer because I would have had my head straight. I would have been more responsible about things. Um, I could have done a lot more in terms, like for example, I wouldn't be missing work. When I was working, how many times I used to call out sick when I was working different places because I was out all night. I'm guilty of that. I called out work many times because I was up all night drinking. Eventually, either I quit the job because I just didn't want to deal with shit anymore because I was a different mindset back then. I wasn't responsible. Or in one case, I got fired because of my attendance. I got fired. I got let go. And it wasn't their fault, it was my fault. It was my fault. So yeah, my advice is don't do it. Don't do it. My potential, and in my case, I could tell you what my potential could have been. Especially when I was young. I remember I was a good baseball player. I was very good at baseball. I was a very good hitter, all around player. I was a very good baseball player. I remember my neighbors. There's a couple across the street, older lady and her husband. They were involved in like little league or they were involved in baseball leagues in Central Park, and she was trying to recruit me to play there. She kept telling me because she would see me play in the street. She would see me play like stickball and all that, and she said, "You're a very good ball player. You should play organized baseball." Like I could have been the next. I could have been like Alex Rodriguez or Manny Ramirez coming out of New York City. I was a good ball player. I could say that I was a very good ball player. Have I played? Have I never been drinking? I could have probably been a professional baseball player. I probably would have Major League Baseball. Who knows? Sky's the limit. I would have been a great baseball player. I really believe that. I really believe I could have been a major league power hitter, home run, a lot of RBIs. Uh, you know, outfielder because I was more better outfielding, like left field. I was center fielding, right field. Uh, I could also pitch. I was pretty good pitcher too. I was a pretty good pitcher. So I could throw fastball. My fastball wasn't like the. I think my highest clock fastball was 85 miles an hour. When like I did it like 30 years ago. I clocked my speed at 85. But I'm talking about in my prime, I probably could have hit. I probably would have hit high 80s. I used to throw, and then I had a few pitches. I had a slider. I had a fastball slider, sinker. I used to throw sinker. And of course, I knew how to pitch. I knew how to position. When I used to play a lot, when I used to pitch a lot, I knew every batter where to pitch to. I used to strike a lot of people out. Like when we play like schoolyard pitching, I remember schoolyard pitching. I didn't lose for 10 years. Like we had 3-man teams, 2-man teams. I don't remember. I think I went through a stretch for almost 10 years where I didn't lose a game. When I was pitching, I didn't lose. I didn't lose. People would pick me. They'd be like, "No, I want to play with Danny." And I would pitch. When I pitch, I would throw 9 innings, extra innings. I would throw over 100 pitches. I done that so many times. I wore out my arm. Right now, today, I can't throw a ball now because my arm is dead. My arm is dead now. My arm is dead. But in my 20s, my late teens, in my 20s, I threw God knows how many pitches. I never had a major arm injury. I never had a rotator cuff injury. I was blessed by that. I never had an arm injury. No arm injury, other than a little soreness. But yeah, I remember that street ball, all types of your schoolyard ball and all that. I didn't lose for almost 10 years. It felt like 10 years. I didn't lose. Then when I lost, oh my God, I lost one game to this kid. And he rest in peace. He passed away a few years ago. He was a real good friend of mine, Jose Rivera. He was the reason why I went to college. Jose Rivera. He was the reason why I went to college. And he told me, Danny, because I wasn't sure what college to go to. He was like, Danny, you need to go to this college that I went to. And if you go there, you'll get your degree because you smart. You're the smartest man I know. He told me that. He inspired me to go back to college and this time get my degree. It was him, Jose Rivera. He graduated from college. Of course, he wound up teaching high school. He wound up becoming not a math teacher, excuse me. He wound up becoming a history teacher in high school. And he passed away about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, he passed away. But yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. We all have our role models. We have people along the way in our life that pushes us. It's not one person. You're always going to run into somebody that's going to push that button to get you to the next place. Like Jose Rivera was that guy when I didn't have my degree yet, and I was still trying to see if I could still go to college. He told me, he said, Danny, you need to go to this school. Go to this school. You're going to get your degree because you're smart. You know a lot about computers. You know more than me about computers. If you go to this school, you'll be a straight A student at this college. And I was like, yeah, really? He said, yeah. He said, believe me. He said, I got my degree and I don't know half of the stuff you know. You see what I'm saying? And this guy was the one that pushed me to go to that school. And he's gone. He's not here no more. He passed away about 6 years ago. Complications of diabetes. He passed away. And he was younger than me. He's about 5 years younger than me. So he would have been, right now, he would have been about 55. So he died early. He died in his 40s. So he died in his 40s. He never made it his 50th birthday. He died in his 40s from complications of diabetes. The last time I saw him, it was for his sister's funeral in the Bronx. This is about 15 years ago. No, not 15 years. Come on, take my back. This is about 12 years ago. No. Excuse me. My bad. 9 years ago. I got all my dates on this. 9 years ago was the last time I saw him. And when I saw him, he was like 400 pounds. He was 400 pounds. He could barely walk. He needed assistance to get out of his car to the funeral home. He needed assistance. Like he needed a walker and all that. When I saw him, I was like, wow. Like because he's younger than me. And at that time, I wasn't this heavy. And I was like, wow, he's younger than me. And why he looks like he could not even walk unassisted to the funeral home. And then shortly after that, I found out he passed away. I think there was probably another year, about 2 years after the funeral of his sister, he passes away. And that's why I say, people, like I said, don't feel sorry for me. I lived a good life. I lived a long life for me. When people say you live a long life, in the 1800s, in the 1700s, by the way, in the 1700s, if you lived to 50, that was a long life. If you lived till 50, in the 1700s, that was considered a long life. Not many people live beyond 70 in the 1700s. So what I'm trying to say is, I wish I could live as long as I could live, but that's not up to me. That's up to God. But if you make the most of what you've done, then you're not gonna have a regret. You know what I mean? Especially if you did the best you can. By the way, if you don't try, okay, here he goes. If you try and fail, then you're a winner. I know that makes sense. If you try and fail, you're still a winner. You know why? Because you tried. You tried. If you never try, you're a loser. You're a loser. If you never try, then you're a loser. You see what I'm saying? Winners never quit. Quitters never win. So that's what I'm saying. So what you make with your life, if you live 40 years or 50 years, if you went through life being afraid of trying things, then you know what? Then, by the way, I'm not gonna throw Bible verses at people because I'm not a Bible. It is a sin to waste your life and not try. I believe that. I think there is. I don't know what the proper. Anybody can quote me on this. If you go through life without trying to do the things you want to do in life, if you go through life being afraid of everything, then you're committing a sin. Does that make sense? Because you're given this gift. You are given this gift of life. It's up to you to make the most of it. Don't blame anybody else. No, no, no. Don't blame anybody else for that. This is your life. You need to make the best of it. You need to make the best of it. Because there's gonna be a time where you're gonna run out of time. And somebody's gonna judge you. Well, while you're there, what did you accomplish? And if you say nothing, then you wasted that. I'm gonna call it a vessel. That vessel, you wasted it. You wasted that vessel. You understand? So yeah, don't that's what I keep saying. You young guys out there, don't be afraid. Go after what you want to go after. Because if you go after it and you fail, so what? At least you tried. But if you don't go after it, you're gonna live with that regret for the rest of your life. I'll guarantee you that. I can say with certainty. If you don't go after the things you want in life, or you were too scared to try, then you know what? Then you deserve you deserve the pain that goes with it. You know? I dropped out of high school. I wish I could have had a high school graduation, but stupid me didn't want to stick it out. I didn't want to stick it out. So I dropped out and got my equivalency. If I could go back in time, I would have just kept going to school. I would have kept going to school, get my high school diploma, get my high school diploma in high school, not GED, high school. That's what I mean. Like things like that, you know. That's what I tell my son that enjoy the experience. He doesn't like school. You don't have to like school. You don't have to like school. But go to it, achieve the things you want to do with school. Because one day you're gonna be 18. You're not gonna go to school no more. You know what's gonna happen when you're in your 20s and 30s? You're gonna miss school. I miss school. I miss school to this day. I miss school. So go to school. Do the best you can in school. You don't have to be friends with everybody in school. No. You go to school because you want to do good in school. You want to learn as much as you can in school. And then, like for example, Chicken B wants to go to college. So you know what you do while you're in high school? Keep going to high school. Try to get better grades in high school. If you can, maybe take a couple of college prep courses. If you can. I'm just saying you can, You don't have to. Don't push yourself to that. You don't have I shouldn't say that. But go to school. Get your high school diploma. Prepare you for college. There you go. Then when you go to college, by the way, when you go to college, believe it or not, it's going to feel like high school because there's going to be some people in college that are going to go there. They're not going to take it too seriously. Then you got some students that are going to take it seriously and they're going to, you're going to run that in college too. Even when I went to college in my early 30s, there were people there that were younger. They didn't really take college seriously. Me, I went in there because I wanted to graduate. I wanted my degree. And by the way, extra incentive because I didn't want to pay out my pocket scholarship. I mean, I would score as high as I would get my grade as high as I can. You know why? Because then you get scholarship money. Like if you get two A's and B's, you make it to the dean's list, president's list. In my school, they had the Monroe Scholarship. If you went over 3.0, if you had a 3.0 average, you will get extra money for a Monroe Scholarship. And that money helps out for tuition. But the money that's left over goes in your pocket. So that motivated me for all that. I didn't go to school to get a C. I went to school to get an A. I pushed myself to get A's and B's. Really A's. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate everybody's dealing with, being here, dealing with. But thank you, everybody, for being here. And I love you guys all. You guys are, I wish, maybe someday I can meet everybody. I wish I could meet everybody one by one. Or maybe even some kind of meetup. I don't know. But thank you, everybody. And I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. And again, thank you. Thank you.